All right, continuing with 11.2 and 11.3, factoring trinomials. Moving on to example G here. Whenever I spot a number like 12 up front, I know it's going to be a little different, more difficult factoring because there's some options with 12, 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. So I'm going to kind of get my two binomials down here. And then I kind of have to think through this, and it's a trial and error method. If I'm going to show you just one attempt here. If I get lucky and get it on the right try or first try, and this is a Q here. So if you think about it, if I would put 11 here and 1 here, there's no negatives in this problem. And if I check this out here, outside is 33Q and inside is 4Q. And when I add those together, I get 37Q, which we see doesn't match the 47Q. Okay, so something's gone wrong. So I have to try something different. Let's try 3Q plus 11 and 4Q plus 1. We just switched where the 11 and the 1 were. Okay, well, when we look at the outside, okay, we get 3Q, and inside we get 44Q, which now when we add those together, we get 47Q, which is our middle term. So this is the correct factoring, and it's the only correct factoring. There isn't any other ones, okay? There's only one way to factor these. Now you could have put this binomial up front. That would have been fine, but we've already talked about that previously, okay? So if you don't get the right thing on the first try, then you just have to try something else, okay? So looking at H here, we have a GCF, and we have learned before that if we spot a negative up front, we should factor a negative also out with the GCF. So I'm going to pull a negative Q out of this problem. And again, just working with a different variable, it's not a big deal. It could be X's or P's, it doesn't matter. Just kind of make sure you write down the correct variable. I almost made a mistake on G, or I did actually. So here's the start to this problem. I just noticed while I was talking, I made a couple sign errors, so maybe I shouldn't talk while doing the math, but this should be a negative here, and that should be a negative, okay? So be a little careful there. So negative and negative, all right? So I have negative Q, and then I have to get a 6Q squared here. Now I could try 2 and 3, or I could try 6 and 1. And looking a little ahead in this problem, I'm going to try 6 and 1. Mainly because I was thinking if I put a 7 here, I was thinking a little bit ahead in the problem, that would give me 42 on the outside. Okay, and that's really close to 41. Okay, so if I put a 7 here, I have to put a 1 here. All right, so now I have to work with my signs. I got to get a negative 41 in the middle, so I'm going to put negative here and positive here. The reason is that would make negative 42Q, and that inside would make 1Q, which is negative 41Q. Okay, so it's just this little puzzle you have to make all the pieces work on. Okay, so it takes time, and sometimes it gets frustrating, and you don't get these things on the first try. I've been doing a lot of these, and I have many years of practice, so I can make it look pretty easy usually. Okay. Well, the only way to get 5x squared is to use a 5 and a 1. Okay, so that's my only options there. And the only way to get a 2 is to use 1 and 2. So I know that I either have to put the 1 here or the 2 here or vice versa. Okay, so thinking about if I put the 2 here, the problem is I'm already at 10 by outside, and that's not going to work. Okay, it's going to be too large, too far off from -3. So I'm going to put the 1 over here and the 2 here. Okay, so let's think about that. That would give me 5x outside. Well, I want more negatives, so that's going to be -5x, and inside would be 2x. So I'll just show you that. That would be -5x. Inside would be 2x. And -5x plus 2x is -3x, which matches our middle term. Okay, so this is the factored form of the trinomial. All right. I'm going to end the video here, and we'll take a look at the next 3 problems in the next video. Okay, so all right, that'll wrap it up for factoring trinomials then. Thanks.